Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. We are continuing on with Inkmas this year, and I have day 6 of the Diamine Black Inkvent for this video. I've actually been pretty happy with all the ones we've gotten so far. A little underwhelmed with a couple of them, but I'm hoping for day 6 we have another new ink, I guess, like one that I've never seen before kind of color, but let's see. Ooh, my door's stuck. Ugh. Okay. Okay. Looks like this one is called Cranberry, and ooh, it's a standard ink. That's kind of exciting. Okay, thoughts on this one is whoa. So, it says standard ink on the bottle, right? Like y'all all witnessed that with me. This ink is sheening so high as it's drying in front of me right now. It has got the brightest, I wouldn't say, okay, not the brightest, but it's got a very high, almost yellow-green chartreuse colored sheen going on. And it is like covering almost the whole swatch and all of the writing. It is a high sheen. Wow. Don't really consider that a standard Diamine. I think that's considered sheening, but it's okay. Anyways, the base color of this is a gorgeous, high saturated, like red pink. Definitely a great cranberry color. Looks like cranberry sauce from Thanksgiving. Looks like melted cranberries on the page, writing with cranberry juice, if you will. It's a gorgeous base color. The sheen is definitely covering the whole thing though, which is kind of surprising to me. And I'm really interested to see how this would do in writing, and if the sheen just takes over everything, or if we would get really like nice bits of that base color, because the base color is absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, really surprised with this one already. I don't even know if I have anything close to this in my swatch book, but let's go ahead and take a peek at the swatches I have and see if I really do have anything similar, or if it's just going to be a very unique, high sheen, cranberry colored ink. Okay, so I'm going to start with my red swatches first and see if we have anything that's kind of close. But I do think this fits pretty firmly in pink for me personally, but I want to see, I want to test the waters, if you will. Nothing really pulling through so far, and I don't really expect anything to be super close. But I miss, okay, right off the bat, Dominant Industries Garnet is almost exactly the same color as the base of Cranberry. I think Cranberry is slightly more purple, and Garnet doesn't have that overpowering sheen. So if you're not a sheen person, maybe check out Dominant Industries Garnet, because it's very close to the base color of Cranberry. Let's see what else we got. Not a whole lot, that's for sure. Okay, let's move on into pinks and see if there's anything quite like this in pink. This is kind of starting to remind me of Color vs. Andromeda, which is in the magenta family for me. I think I put it magenta. It's kind of close to Ferris Wheel Press's Ruby Royal Flush. Ruby Royal Flush I do think is a bit darker, also a bit more pink leaning, and it also has shimmer, but it does have that kind of crazy green sheen with it, so kind of close, kind of close. Let's see what else. Here's Color vs. Andromeda. I do think the color of this is close in the base. Andromeda is definitely a bit more, I'd say, purple leaning, and Cranberry is a bit more red to pink leaning. And Andromeda doesn't have the overpowering sheen either. Like, yeah, kind of close. I still think this is closer to Garnet, though, by Dominant Industry. Okay, it's kind of close to Lamy Rhodonite, and Rhodonite does have a crazy, like, greenish yellow sheen with it as well. The Rhodonite is a bit lighter and a bit more pink, a little less saturated looking, but it's kind of close. It's also kind of close to the Roaring Cleaner's Sketch Ink Vrony in the base. Obviously, Vrony doesn't have any of the sheen, but the base color of Cranberry is kind of close. Vrony's a bit lighter and a bit more pink. Okay, it's also kind of close to Octopus Fluid's Sheening Ink Fairy. Although Fairy is labeled a sheening ink and Cranberry is not, and Cranberry is sheening more. So take that with a grain of salt, I guess. But yeah, Fairy is gorgeous. It's actually one of my new obsessions lately from Octopus Fluids. I'm really happy with that one as well. Let me check out the magentas just to see if we have anything that's kind of pulling through. I feel like magenta is a bit more purple than the Cranberry. Like, I don't feel like Cranberry is magenta enough, but maybe we'll get something in here. Yeah, I'm not really feeling anything. I think the closest thing is going to be the Dominant Industries Garnet, at least in the base color, but the sheen on this Cranberry ink is wild, and I don't have anything that sheens quite like this that is a red pink. So definitely a new ink for me, and I happen to like sheening inks, so I'm kind of excited for this. And I'm also excited to see what it will look like in a full page, if it does peek through with the base color or not. All right, and here we have the writing sample of Cranberry. I have to say, I am in love. I'm actually shocked how much I enjoy this ink. It's just so unique in that the sheen with this base color, it's so interesting. I do want to test how well the sheen dries, because I find that sheening ink does have a tendency to just smear, and it also has a tendency to take forever to dry. But I can see this actually dried pretty quickly. It's only been probably about a minute max since I stopped writing and turned the camera back on. But I have to say, I'm really impressed with this one. I don't know if it's my new favorite of all of the ink so far, but it might be. It might be, actually. Yeah, I'm going to say it. This is my favorite so far out of all of the inks we've swatched, and it's just because it's so unique and that it's such a crazy sheening ink. I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. Let me know if you have any inks like this in your collection, maybe that don't sheen, in case we have any people out there who just don't want a sheening ink but want this color, and drop those down in the comments. Love to see recommendations if you guys are finding any kind of similar inks out there to what's in the Inkvent, since I know the Inkvent is kind of a novelty and not everybody wants to pick one up or can pick them up. Pick one up, jeez. But anyways, I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you're enjoying the Inkvent so far, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day number 7, the final day of the first week. Ah, crazy.